Alex and Chloe had been driving for hours, and they were both exhausted. They had been planning this road trip for weeks, but now they were regretting their decision. The traffic was unbearable, and they were barely moving. Chloe turned to Alex and sighed. "This is ridiculous. I can't believe we're stuck like this." Alex glanced over at her and smiled. "Hey, we're in this together. We'll get through it." Chloe leaned her head back and closed her eyes. "I know. I just wish we could get there faster. I'm so tired of sitting in this car." Alex reached over and took her hand. "Hey, do you remember the first time we took a road trip together?" Chloe opened her eyes and looked at him. "Of course I do. It was the best weekend ever." Alex grinned. "Yeah, we drove all the way to the beach and we didn't care how long it took us. We were just happy to be together." Chloe smiled at the memory. "I remember we got lost on the way back and we ended up driving for hours in the wrong direction." Alex chuckled. "Yeah, but we didn't care. We were in love, and nothing else mattered." Chloe squeezed his hand. "I still feel that way, you know. Even after all these years, I still love you just as much as I did back then." Alex leaned over and kissed her softly. "I love you too, Chloe. And I have an idea to make this traffic jam a little more bearable." Chloe raised an eyebrow. "Oh, really? What's that?" Alex grinned mischievously. "Close your eyes." Chloe giggled and did as she was told. She felt Alex's lips on hers and she kissed him back eagerly. They lost themselves in the moment, forgetting about the traffic and the world around them. Chloe started to manually stimulate him. "Oh, this is awesome," Alex whispered. "See, I can do this even with my eyes closed." Chloe laughed. "Yeah, you can, and you are doing it really great. I don't think I can hold for much longer." Suddenly, a bright blue light flooded the car, and Chloe opened her eyes in alarm. She pulled away from Alex and looked out the window. "What the hell is that?" she whispered. Alex looked out as well and gasped. "I don't know, but it's getting closer." The blue light grew brighter and brighter, and the car started to shake. Alex and Chloe held onto each other tightly, unsure of what was happening. Suddenly, everything went black. After taking a few moments to adjust to their surroundings, Chloe and Alex began to explore the strange new world they had found themselves in. The forest was dense, with tall trees looming overhead, and a thick layer of underbrush obscuring the forest floor. The air was humid, and the sound of birds and insects filled the air. Chloe looked at Alex, and for a moment they both stood in silence, taking in the eerie beauty of their new surroundings. "What the hell just happened?" Chloe finally asked. "I don't know," Alex replied, his voice barely above a whisper, "but I think we're definitely not in Kansas anymore." Chloe gave a nervous laugh, looking around at the forest surrounding them. "No kidding." As they walked, Chloe and Alex began to notice that there was something off about the world they were in. The sky was a strange, muted shade of blue, and the trees and plants seemed to be more vibrant and alive than anything they had ever seen before. As they walked, they came across a small stream, and Chloe suggested that they follow it, hoping it might lead them to civilization. After walking for a while, the trees began to thin out, and they could see the outline of a small village in the distance. As they approached the village, they noticed that the people there looked different from anyone they had ever seen before. They were taller, with pointed ears and slender limbs, and their skin had an otherworldly glow to it. Alex and Chloe approached cautiously, unsure of what to expect. As they drew closer, a group of the villagers noticed them and began to approach. "Who are you?" one of them asked, eyeing them suspiciously. "We're lost," Chloe explained, holding her hands up in a gesture of peace. "We're not from around here." The villagers looked at them with curiosity and confusion, and after a few tense moments, they seemed to relax. "You must be from the other world," one of them said, gesturing towards the sky. Chloe and Alex looked at each other, unsure of what to say. "The other world?" Alex asked. "Yes," the villager replied. "You must have come through the portal." The word portal hung in the air for a moment, and Chloe and Alex both felt a chill run down their spines. They had never believed in things like portals or parallel worlds, but now they found themselves face to face with the impossible. The villagers told them stories of the world they had entered, of magic and creatures that Chloe and Alex had only ever read about in books. Over the next few days, Chloe and Alex learned more about the world they were in. They discovered that there was a way to return to their own world, but it would not be easy. They would need to find the portal that brought them here in the first place, and it was said to be guarded by powerful magic. Despite the danger, Chloe and Alex knew they had to find a way home. They set out on a journey, guided by the villagers and armed with only their wits and their determination. As they walked, they encountered strange and wondrous creatures, from giant spiders to talking trees. They learned to harness the magic of the world they were in, using it to protect themselves from the dangers they encountered. Days turned into weeks, and weeks turned into months, but they never gave up. And finally, after what seemed like an eternity, they found the portal they had been searching for. When the light faded away, Chloe and Alex found themselves in a different part of the forest. They were disoriented and confused, but they knew they had to keep moving. As they walked, they noticed that the plants and trees in this part of the forest were different from the ones they had seen before. The colors were brighter, the leaves were larger, and the flowers were more vibrant. It was as if they had entered a completely different world. After walking for what felt like hours, Chloe and Alex came across a clearing. In the center of the clearing was a large, ornate tree. Its trunk was as wide as a house, and its branches stretched out towards the sky. As they approached the tree, they noticed a group of people gathered around it. The people looked different from anyone they had ever seen before. They had pointed ears, long hair, and were dressed in clothing made from leaves and vines. Chloe and Alex were hesitant to approach the group, but one of the people noticed them and beckoned them forward. "Welcome, travelers," the person said. "My name is Alara. What brings you to our forest?" Chloe and Alex explained their situation and how they had ended up in this parallel world. Alara listened intently and then smiled. "I think I know how to help you," she said. "But first, you must complete a task for us." "What kind of task?" Chloe asked. Alara explained that there was a powerful sorcerer who had been terrorizing their village. He had been stealing their magic and using it for his own selfish purposes. The only way to stop him was to retrieve a magical amulet that he had stolen from them. "We have been searching for the amulet for months, but we have not been able to find it," Alara said. "But I have a feeling that you two can help us." Chloe and Alex were hesitant at first, but they knew they had no other choice. They agreed to help Alara and set off on their mission. As they walked through the forest, they encountered many challenges. They had to cross treacherous rivers, climb steep mountains, and fight off dangerous creatures. But they kept pushing forward, driven by the hope that they would find the amulet and be able to return home. Finally, after days of traveling, they found themselves standing in front of a large, ominous castle. They knew that the amulet was inside, and they steeled themselves for the battle ahead. They fought their way through the castle, battling fierce guards and powerful spells. Finally, they reached the inner sanctum where the sorcerer was hiding. He was a formidable opponent, but Chloe and Alex fought with all their might. In the end, they emerged victorious. They had defeated the sorcerer and retrieved the amulet. As they made their way back to the village, Chloe and Alex felt a sense of accomplishment. They had completed their task and helped the people of this world. But they also knew that their journey was far from over. They still had to find a way back home.